All I wanted was an S-Class, yeah. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Tune in, sex, love, and plastic. Sex, love, and plastic.
Sex, love, and plastic, alright?
We're just talking that shit on this.
You already know the fucking vibes. Welcome to another episode of Sex, Love, and Plastic. I'm your host, Jazz, better known as JDenero21 on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter at DaddyJazz21. And you can follow the Sex, Love, and Plastic Instagram page. I never mentioned it, but we got one. Send your questions. If you want to pop up on the show, let us know. DM us. And today, got my sis back again. Go ahead, introduce yourself. You know how it go.
You know what it is. It's Toni, your favorite tomboy, owner and creator of Stylist Freedom, a tomboy lifestyle brand. You know that, at Stylist Freedom on all social platforms. And you can follow me personally at Tomboy301 on all social platforms as well.
Alright, you already know how that go. Alright, so remember last time you was here, we talked about a lot of stuff, but remember we was mentioned how studs pants don't fit a certain way. Well, alright, let me tell them the context first. If you haven't seen the episode with Toni, go ahead and check it out. But it was a portion of the episode where we were talking about when women who dress masculine, or some of them who define themselves as studs too, studs, dykes, whatever the case may be, when we buy men's clothes, we expect the clothes to fit us a certain way. And because women are shaped differently than men, the clothes don't end up fitting that way. We was trying to figure out if there was a solution that would make the pants better. So that's the context of the conversation. In that, I received a DM from somebody. They wrote under one of my pictures, and they basically was asking me, is there a correct way to be a stud or a dyke or whatever the case may be? And I asked them why. They said their girlfriend said they was too soft. Now, if y'all go back to season 1 of Sex, Love, and Plastic, there's an episode titled, what type of, we had to change it, right? What type of stud are you? Yeah. It's called What Type of Stud Are You? And on that episode, I explained from New York point of view, what we know a stud to be out here. Right? Boom. That was about 4 years ago. What is your definition of a stud or masculine presenting lesbian?
Well, it's, I guess, like you said, it's changed over time. But for me, traditionally, just, going back to butch, stud, dyke kind of lineage, it's masculine presenting from top to bottom in terms of, attitude, energy, and overall dress in terms of the male silhouette, the jeans, the baggier jeans, the button-up shirt versus a blouse. Yeah. You know what I mean? A men's hoodie versus a women's sweater. You're going to have on a men's jacket or coat. You're going to wear a tuxedo or a suit to a special engagement, or at least some slacks and a button-up or a sweater, something more male-presenting, even if you go to church, But over time, I have realized, too, that even though that dress doesn't necessarily define you being masculine, and I had to realize that, too, as I got older, because I felt that, because I stayed true to that masculine identity and really grew and evolved within that. And I noticed that some of my friends kind of didn't, and I was still forcing them into that box that they weren't in. And I noticed that a lot of them started saying, well, I'm a soft stud. I'm a soft butch. I was like, okay. What that mean, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you gonna wear a bikini to the beach now?
Yeah.
Right?
I was gonna get into that because I was gonna say, I want to make this clear. It is okay to be masculine presented and still be feminine. Yeah. But that's the part that I think was not clicking.
So, but what I want to say is, I was the ignorant one. I was the one.
I was that too.
It wasn't them. It was me. Right? Because I think that when we first come of age and we're identifying in this masculine space, we're taking on male energy. And I feel that, unfortunately, a lot of male energy is toxic. A lot of male traits are toxic. And so we begin to take these on as studs or, dykes, masculine women. And so we take these on and allow these to sort of identify us. So when we come together and group up, anybody that's not aligned with that, you looking at them like, yo, what's going on with you?
I was about to say that. I feel like it's kind of like, who was the one person that said if you dress like a boy, this is the way you have to act.
Exactly.
I don't know who wrote the rule book, and
Yeah.
that's when I say it's about the environment you grow up in.
Yeah.
Like I said, I grew up here in New York. If you call yourself a dyke, a AG, a stud, you are how you look is you look masculine, and you act tough.
Yeah.
You got to be tougher than a guy.
Yeah.
When I first came out, I was bisexual until my senior year of high school. When I first came out and I started dressing like a stud, I used to hear the same thing. Oh, Jazz, you gay. Why I'm gay? Because I used to still hold my wrists like that. I hold my hands on my hip. I say certain things still like a girl. I kiki like a girl. So for me, when I first came out, I thought I was doing something wrong. So then I started following everything that I saw.
Yeah.
All right, this is what I got to do. Well, I'm already aggressive, so maybe this is what's supposed to be. But then you hear, oh, you want to be a man. You want to be a man so bad. No, I don't. I want to dress comfortable, and I want to eat coochie just like you do.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be you. I don't want a dick. I would love my body, and that's just that. So it's like a lot that just really... It's confusing when there's a turning point.
I think that, you know, ultimately there's a couple things, right? And I'm gonna say that again. I realized my ignorance. One, when I was constantly being treated a certain way for dressing this way, when people did accuse me of wanting to be a man, particularly my mother, just because I identified in a masculine way, I wasn't gonna be successful, get a job, or finish college, or I was gonna have all these hurdles because I decided to dress a certain way or present. So I was determined to let my character speak for me. So that's when I sort of had a turning point with it, when I was constantly being attacked and nobody was getting to know me. I was just being labeled as this person or this pariah or like this predator who was just looking for girls all the time. And I even took like 4-year period where I didn't even have sex because I didn't want people to just constantly think that I was just trying to get with girls all the time.
Yeah.
It was frustrating and it was annoying. And I also didn't want to have these friendships with women and with girls that maybe I was attracted to or we just had a vibe with and they think that that's what I want. Like, I'm not here to eat your pussy. I'm not here to do that for you. Even though sometimes, you know, you might have that straight friend and you might be there, you know, y'all coming home from the club and I just might be there, but I didn't want to be that. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I had my relationships where I was that. But at that certain point, you know, once I grew up, I realized that I didn't want to be labeled like that. But I say that to say that when I came out with Tomboy, came out with the clothing line, I started promoting it to different girls. I saw that they were turned off by it. They didn't want to wear Tomboy. They didn't want to represent Tomboy because it had such a gay label attached to it. And so I was like, damn, that's so unfair for them to see it like that. I want to alleviate this. So that's why I came up with the talented, original, motivated, brilliant, outstanding individual acronym to kind of cease the whole notion of tomboy representing wanting to be a boy, right? But that's when I also had to scale back again and look at my homies and be like, okay, if I'm saying we all start out as tomboys and then we kind of progress into our femininity, then why wouldn't it be that same way with us that are masculine presenting? That, yeah, at 13, 14, we was rough and tough. But now I'm 21, 22, 23. I'm not that
in
same.
your soft girl era.
You know what I mean? But you still feel masculine at the same time. So I think that I had to understand the process of being a woman versus, oh, I'm gay and you straight and I'm feminine, you a stud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at the base, that's what it is. We all girls.
Period.
So I think that to answer the question of is there any certain way to be masculine presenting? No. But it's within your relationship with who you rocking with. You know, if you find this soft girl that you with and this is what she's looking for, or if you have more of an aggressive girl and you need to up your aggression a little bit, then maybe that's not.
And then to be honest, not all girls want that.
Yeah.
Some girls don't want. They want a teddy bear. Like I said, it's not to say times is changing. You don't have to be hard. You could just be yourself. And to be honest with you, to the person that asked me the question, if your girlfriend is telling you that, just leave her alone. Because you shouldn't have to really try to change your clothes and change your whole identity to be with the girl. Yeah. I've said this in the episode before when I used to go out with one of my cast members. Out of the 3.5 years we was together, she was going around towards the end telling people I wanted to transition and I wanted to and that was not true. So she had another cast member ended up hitting me up and telling me this whole process about something I don't even want to go through.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't force nothing on me. Don't try to change me. Don't try to do nothing like that, because being yourself is the best thing you could be, y'all. That's all I'm going to say. You might not find them right now, but you'll find somebody who's going to fuck with you for you. It might take a while. You might have to kiss 1,000,000 frogs till you find your princess or prince for whoever. But, shit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, and I was going to say that, like, that's just not the person for you, and I think we have to follow the signs, listen to those red flags, listen to your intuition when you know that you ain't really vibing with that person, but because we allow ourselves to start getting intimate too early and too soon, and we start being guilty about, well, you know, it's been 3 months, you know, I want to kind of see where it goes, but you know, it ain't really going to go where you want it to go. You're not really feeling what you want to feel. And I think we also need to do a better job, especially as masculine women, of being honest about how we feel and what we want and how we want to feel.
That's a fact.
Because I think we're such pleasers. You know, as long as you happy, as long as you happy, you know, as long as I make you come, as long as I... But what are we getting? What we need? Are we being treated the way we want? So I think we have to put some more value on that and just really understanding, is this the right relationship for me? Is this the right person? And having the courage to be like, you know what? Let's stop this. You go your way, I'm gonna go mine, and let's do this amicably, because this ain't working.
But on another note, guys, studs, AGs, whoever's watching stems, it is okay to be feminine and vulnerable in sexual situations. Right. Now, when I say that, I mean, if you are a stud or whatever, you got your girl and you craving some penetration, let her penetrate you. It's y'all two women, y'all in the privacy of your house. If that's what you want, don't let nobody tell you, oh, that's not what you're supposed to do. Right. If that's what you want, then you do you, alright? Boo? Do you. Right. Secondly, same thing with the... Y'all hear me loud and clear? I want y'all to hear me loud and clear. Same thing with when you getting head. I'm tired of my femme friends complaining. All she want to do is lay down on her back. I want her to rub my face too. I want to eat it from the back. Don't be scared to bend over on fours and let her eat your shit. It's okay. Explore with your person. No, for real. No, yo. Because they be like, yo, I just lay there so I don't be... No, what is you laying there for? Do the same thing she do to you. 69 reverse flip, do all that. Let yourselves loose. Don't be ashamed. Especially if you with your partner. Just don't be doing it with randoms now. Yeah. But somebody that you love and you trust with your body. Yeah. Somebody you trust your body with. You should be able to give them all of you. And if you have feelings or things that you're scared to express because you feel like, oh, I'm a stud, I can't do that. Express it to your lady. And that's it. Yeah. If she love you, she gonna rock with you. If it's something you never tried, you want to try before, experiment. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't let nobody tell you that you're not a lesbian, alright? You're still a lesbian. And
then when we break up, don't be trying to put me out there and try to embarrass me.
But that's why they don't want to do it. Like, remember you let me strap you up, nigga? Right. Fuck out of here. Don't act crazy.
You're right, though. You're right. You know what I'm saying? We do need to be more free because it's releasing, man. And, you know, you need to be free with your body and free with your sexual energy. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't allow yourself to, again, get into these toxic boxes that we put ourselves in because we think we need to present a certain way.
What Suki said? Now I'm eating his ass. Eating his ass. Yeah,
listen,
eat each other's ass.
I've had numerous females that I know that are out here eating ass from
There's
these
nothing
guys.
wrong with it. I eat ass. Eat ass. Eat ass too. Yeah.
Listen, my one friend, her nigga wanted him to eat his ass more than he wanted head. You know
well, listen, if that's what you like. That's what you like. Listen, if you love your partner, you gonna do what you gotta do to please him. Straight thing. But you know,
if that's what you. Hey.
But as long as it's coming from your partner, okay? Sure. Let's make that very clear.
Right, don't be out here eating random ass. That shit ain't healthy.
And don't be letting
even if that's your partner, you gotta get in the shower. Like, you ain't about to just walk in the house and eat some ass. Like, your ass and pussy is two different things. You got to get in the shower. Like, okay, you know, pussy, we can do the kind of like all day kind of vibe. See what's going on, but the ass is no. Some bacteria and things back there that's got to be clean. So, you know. Let's just be mindful. I mean, seriously, health is wealth.
You ain't never lied.
I mean, because if you fuck around back there, some real shit can go down. And listen.
All right, so you know how I just told you I had a situation where somebody tried to force that upon me Have you ever had somebody try to force you to be a certain type of masculine?
I can't say like overly masculine. No, I don't think that I've ever been in that kind of situation where somebody was forcing me to be like trans or whatever. But I do feel like I was in a relationship where I had to taper my aggressiveness to make sure that, it wasn't, any kind of threatful energy where it was intimidating. Not threatful, but intimidating, right? Because I think that even when you are in a relationship, those dynamics can still come into place, even when you are in a safe space, even when there is love there, but the intimidation of the energy. Yeah. So I do believe, I was in a relationship where I tapered down that aggressiveness because, I didn't want it to be perceived in a negative way. Yeah.
Okay. So sorry, we're going to get in your business a little bit, sis. But you were married. Yeah. Now you're divorced. Yeah. When you were married, did you feel like you had to play that role more? Now that you had like a sad, did you know how they try to say, "Oh, man in a woman household, the man got to take care of the house."
Listen, I think that I took on the roles that were necessary to have a happy marriage. You know what I'm saying? I played, whatever role I needed to play. Of course, I felt like there was a heightened sense of protection for her and for our overall well-being and safety. But when it came to being domesticated and, doing the things that are quote unquote feminine, the cooking, the cleaning, the making sure bills are organized and, we have structure. I was all into that, doing laundry, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, so I think that I was blended in that. And I think that also allowed me to be more humble to that feminine energy and understanding, again, the woman leads the family, regardless of whether that woman is masculine or feminine, the woman leads the family. So I think that I just more so took on that role of leading my family, even though it was just me and my wife at the time.
I think it's important. It don't matter what type of woman you are. Please learn the necessities: cooking, cleaning. Please learn to do it for yourself, y'all. Yeah. Even if you don't got no body, studs, learn how to cook, because it's getting ridiculous. It really is. Yeah. Man. And I'm not just talking about pancake eggs. Go TikTok recipes is 1, 2, 3 fast. They tell you exact measurements. There's no reason why y'all not learning how to cook these days. You was in the house for 7 months. It's no reason. You should have gained some sort of house domesticated skills during that time. Something should have been learned. On another note, are you willing to tell us what you think what went wrong, like in your relationship, that made you feel like this marriage is not going to work for me?
I think it was the growth, It was the growth of, we were growing in 2 different directions. Okay. And then also I think the vulnerability and the sacrifice of marriage, I think was skewed for us. And I'm not saying that she didn't have any of those things. I'm just saying it was skewed in terms of, the skills. And so I think that, when it comes to those things in particular, especially the growth as we get older, we were together for almost 10 years collectively throughout the relationship and the marriage. That's a long period of time. Yeah. So like I said, you're not going to be who you are at 13. You are at 23. I'm not going to be who I am at 33 or 23. You know what I'm saying? On and on and on. I mean, we change from year to year. I change every 3 months, every quarter. I feel like I'm changing.
I change every day.
Every day. You know what I'm saying? But, so I think that those things really start to have a heavier weight. And I think that, my life changed in a lot of ways. I had some loss. I lost my mother, lost my grandmother. And, when you have loss in your life too, certain things come into perspective. Certain values, take way, and so, and they take precedent. Yeah. And so I had to really evaluate all those things in my life. And then her especially. And we were at the point where we were going to have children and really move forward. And were we really ready to take that next step? And so I had to be honest with myself and honest with her. And so once we really looked at our individual honesties, we had to make an adult decision. And so that's really it was the growth, the vulnerability, the sacrifice. And also let me just say too, marriage is about always doing things when you don't want to do them.
Okay. You heard that, right?
You always do things when you don't want to do them. All the time. So, if your partner wants something and needs something, that's what you signed up for. You signed up to take care of them. They lose their job, whatever happened. You signed up. They family going through something. You signed up. You know what I'm saying? They having a bad day. You signed up. You know what I'm saying? They spent too much money. You signed up. You know what I'm saying? They hungry. You know what I mean? You signed up. So just know that whatever it is, they already got children, you signed up.
Yeah.
You know, they love their mama or their daddy or their family more than anything, you signed up. So, you know, play your part. And, you know, like I said, you always got to do things that you don't feel like doing when you're married.
All right, so do you have any advice for anybody that might be going through the same thing you're going through?
Yeah, I mean, listen, be honest with yourself. Be honest with your partner. Go to counseling. You know, I did go to therapy first individually. Then we went to marriage counseling. Okay. You have to be honest about what you really want. You have to be vulnerable to that. And you have to be willing to hear some hard truths and accept those truths.
That's the part right there that nobody want to hear the truth.
You got to be honest and say those hard truths and be willing to accept it and apply it. You know, because it's one thing to be like, yeah, and then but you're not really applying what we talked about. You know what I'm saying? You're not really going deep with me. So you got to be vulnerable and go deep if you want to save the love. If you want to save it, you got to go deep for it, and you got to be vulnerable, you know, and really be honest. Tell all the things that you know. Tell them. If you really want to see yourself as sin, tell them. Just like they say, be vulnerable with God, be vulnerable with your partner. Really tell them and watch how you grow. The same way when you get down on your knees and pray and you tell God everything, when you get up, you feel lighter. Do that with them. So, you know, the communication, the honesty, the vulnerability, and the sacrifice is all very important. I mean, these are all things that are in the Bible. These are all things that we attest to and we ask for in loyalty from our friends and our kids and, you know, our employers. But we don't even ask these things of ourselves and from the people that we're the closest to. So I think that we have to really do the work, you know, of holding ourselves accountable, especially in those areas, if we want relationships, marriages to last.
That's a fact. So my question is, do you still want those things? You still want them?
Absolutely. I still believe in the institution of marriage. I still believe in that. I still will get married again. Absolutely. That didn't taint me or jade me in any way. It's just, you know, that relationship had expired. You know what I'm saying? And now it's time for me to move on. It's time for her to move on and, you know, take what we learned from each other and grow, you know, with other people. And that's okay. But yeah, I'm still very much into being married and being monogamous and having that unity and that love and building a family. So absolutely.
You know how we do. I need you to tell the peoples, leave a last word for the peoples. Anything. Let it
you know, more than anything, man, keep God first. You know what I'm saying? Really, truly. You know, that's like people think that's a jaded statement, but truly keep God first, or keep some spiritual being to help you stay centered. You know, believe in yourself, love yourself first before you think that somebody else is going to love you or that you can love anybody else. And, you know, just be good to yourself out here. Stay true and help other people. I think that so many people are so self-indulged, we don't realize that the more we give, the more we receive. So that's what I can say, man. And be safe. They say COVID coming back. I ain't trying to wear no mask.
No,
wash your hands, man.
No COVID.
All right.
Yeah. So my last word for the day is no proper way to be a stud. Dress how you want to dress. If you feel feminine, be feminine.
Man, live free. We're all talented, original, motivated, brilliant, outstanding individuals.
There you go.